Hey everybody, my name's Tony Biagni. I am at the Wonder Conference 09 with my dear friend, Fancy Nancy Ortberg. I love this. Come here. Let me just real quick, here's what this is all about. We're at the Arts Conference now, and it's been great. You and I have been speaking all day long, and we're not tired, right?
No.
We're all good. We're all good.
We're ready to go.
Ready to go. And it's been great just sharing stories with artists and learning and hopefully teaching them a little bit. And Nancy and I go way back because I met Nancy really when I was serving in this thing called Axis here at Willow Creek. And I will never forget the first time I met you, because you probably won't remember this, although your memory is like a bear trap.
Yeah,
so
those days are gone.
So
Oh, well.
I was sitting.
Bob, I love you, Bob.
Oh, it's Tony. Awesome, thanks.
Tony Bob.
Boy, this just got awkward.
Tony Bob.
This has got awkward. So I'm sitting having dinner with the gang at
Yeah.
Axis, and it's like me and a couple friends. And I was like, oh, I want to meet Nancy. I haven't really, we've never met and everything. And so you came up to me, and I go, hi, and you're like, hi, you're Tony Biagni. And so, yeah, and you started talking about some stuff that I'd done as a volunteer at Axis. And from that point on, I was like, I need to sort of like stand next to you and learn from you, because that very minute you made me feel very valued as a volunteer. You led me from that point on in the creative process with Access. You gave such strong leadership in a way that you let yourself get out of the way. You let God take over that ministry, and boy, did he ever, right? So
It was an amazing 5 years.
It was an amazing 5 years. And so thank you for that, because that still to this day I learn and I talk to people about the lessons that you taught me. So we're talking about leadership.
Yeah,
so
and I think part of what you said is I had heard about you so much from the staff leaders that I felt like I knew you. So I listened to them talk about all the amazing things you were doing. And I think when it comes to volunteers, it's easy to make the separation between staff and volunteers, and I think that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And one of the things Max Dupree taught me years ago was you never bestow dignity on a person, you simply recognize it in them. And I just love that. It's like, how do you look at people and really see people? What kind of people do you not love easily? Well, those are the people you need to start with.
Yeah.
Who are the people that are giving themselves in your ministry like you were, that are being unnoticed and unrecognized? How do you pay attention to them? And how do you elevate all the gifts and not just activate some of them and lift up some, but let them all play? And I think that's part of why I love this conference. I think for so many years, artists have been on the outside looking in, and bringing them inside helps restore the wonder. It helps bring back the magic, the mystery, the awe, the inspiration that most of us are lacking in our churches.
Well, and that's especially important for young leaders. I've had people this whole past couple days say, oh, I'm so new at this, and how do I walk into, like, I just met a guy 2 hours ago who said, I'm replacing someone, an older gentleman on staff. He left, everything, good blood there. He's the young, new guy trying to lead the older men and women. Is there anything that you could say that's like, how do you walk into that with grace and humility and all that
And it's
stuff?
actually interesting you asked that, because I think I've been asked that question more today in the 2 sessions I taught than I've ever been asked it in a concentrated time like that. I think there's a couple of thoughts I have. The first one is you got to decide as a young leader how much of that is your own junk. How much of it is your own insecurity that you're projecting onto other people. I'm a big believer in Christian counseling with the right kind of Christian counselor, or just great community that can help you see that. The second thing I would say is if you're feeling it, talk to your team about it. Make it a team issue. Just say one day at your team meeting, I need 30 minutes. And I want to tell you how I'm feeling. And I'm feeling kind of insecure and kind of young, and I'm wondering if you guys take me seriously. I'm even wondering if I take myself seriously. And I would just put it out on the table. And then I would remind you, thirdly, that Samuel was a young boy when Eli recognized that he had been called by God. David was a young shepherd. The Bible is full of stories of people being called into leadership and roles in the church at a very young age. So at some point, you lead unapologetically. I was 19 years old when I had a youth pastor tell me, you're a leader and a teacher. And it just set me on a different trajectory. As first times I've ever heard those words used about me. And they were very powerful.
And that encouragement, that's
absolutely.
been...
It set the path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you've in turn, what I find beautiful, I mean, I could go down the list easily of people that you have done this, where you in turn taught that to people and said, you matter because you matter to God, and you have all these gifts, and now let me help you and figure this out.
And the older we get, the better we should get at that, because the older we get, the more we understand God's love. So the more we let our ego go and we step back and we invite other people to the table, because somebody did that for us when we were 16 and 19 and 24, and it's our turn to do it for them.
That's right. Amen to that. Well, well, that's it. Thank you so much.
So good to see you. I love you.
Smoochie kids. Yes. All right.
All right. See ya.
All right. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.